If you think spending hours in front of the TV watching sports is a hassle, then you, my friend, have not seen a true sports fanatic who will even read books of this genre. Before you get annoyed and turn to a different video, let me tell you that there are plenty of sports books that can be very interesting to read. The people who are not a fan of reading sports books just have not found the right set of books from this category. If you pick up something that was published in the 70s by a random author, then of course it is going to bore you out of your mind. But authors these days know how to keep their readers hooked, and they can make even a biography of a sports legend or their perspective of a season of basketball seem like a delightful reading session with their captivating way of writing. If you have stayed so far, then you need to keep going and find out all of the best 10 sports books that will be worth your time. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Links to the books are given in the description below. Number 10. Paper Lion by George Plimpton. The great mind of George Plimpton was behind many amazing books. Along with being a great author, the man was also a journalist, editor, and actor, and also pursued the career of gamesman. Paper Lion is a recollection of George Plimpton's own memories of playing for the NFL. He entered the training camps of the NFL's Detroit Lions as a player. He spent weeks training with the rest of the team and actually participated in the preseason game. In this book, he has shared the rituals of football teams and the struggles that players face on and off the field, especially the new players, also known as rookies. He has also shared his own experience of living with the rest of the team in close quarters. Written in his classic humorous tone, Plimpton has turned the tedious game of football into a very interesting activity that will hold the attention of even those who are not sports fans. Number 9. The Boys of Summer by Roger Kahn. Died in 2020, Roger Kahn was an American author who was famous for his unique way of sports writing. He wrote a couple of sports books, but his most famous one is The Boys of Summer that we will be discussing now. The Boys of Summer is a nonfiction sports book, but before you put it down, let me share a few words about it that will intrigue you. The book begins with Kahn's own childhood and his infatuation with baseball. After he entered his teenage years, the obsession grew, and the authors started to focus on a specific team, the Brooklyn Dodgers. Roger has shared the story of baseball players that joined the Brooklyn Dodgers from 1930 to 1940s. The book shares the joining of the players, the story of each player, especially the star players of the team, and the training of the entire team up until they reached the World Series in 1955, when the Brooklyn Dodgers won the World Series. The close encounters of Roger with the team during the World Series have also been shared in this book. So if you are a baseball fanatic like Roger Kahn, you are going to love this book. Number 8. The Game by Ken Dryden. Being a former NHL goalie, when it comes to sports, Ken Dryden has many tales to share. Lucky for us, he is also an amazing writer along with a successful politician. So all those stories and his experience with the team have been shared in his own words in the books he has given us over the years. The Game is one of the best-selling books of Ken Dryden. Being a former player of the Montreal Canadiens, Ken played many games with some of the best and most legendary hockey players. He has given tribute to his fellow players of the 70s by sharing his experience of training and playing side by side with them. From Guy Lafleur to the coach of the team at the time, Scotty Bowman, he mentions many great players in this book. He has also brought to light the pressure and challenges that being the goalkeeper of a hockey team brought to him. The book shares the author's experience with the team until the 1979 Stanley Cup. From stories that were happening before and after the game, to the pressures that the spotlight of the game brought, this book covers many things that make it a great read. Number 7. The Art of Fielding by Chad Harbach. Working as an editor and a writer all his life, the graduate of Harvard, Chad Harbach, wrote one of the greatest sports books of all time that we will be discussing shortly. The Art of Fielding is a sports fiction book that is the perfect introductory book to the sports genre for anyone who does not usually like books from this category. The story revolves around a baseball player, Henry Scrimshander, studying at Westich College, and plays baseball for the college team as the shortstop. The story also includes his roommate, Owen, who is also a teammate, Mike, the captain of the team, and Gert, the college president, and Pella, the president's daughter. The lives of the 5 characters are going smoothly until one day when Harry makes a critical mistake on the field, jeopardizing his and Owen's career. A single mistake will turn their lives upside down and forces them to confront their demons. The story is quite amazing and is focused on each of the 5 characters as well as baseball. Number 6. The Blind Side by Michael Lewis. No matter which genre of books you are discussing, the name of Michael Lewis will pop up on the list, as the man has written countless remarkable books in his life. The Blind Side is one of the best works of the author. The story of The Blind Side is about Michael Lower, who is the child of a single mother and has 12 siblings and no father in the sight. He had a struggling childhood which often included going without food for days, but his life changed the day he was taken in by a white family. Michael was enrolled in a prestigious school that birthed his football career. Michael started off his career in football by playing for his college's football team and then proceeded to play for a professional football team as a left tackle for the quarterback. Along with his skills on the field, the entire personality of Michael was groomed over the years he spent with the Tuohys. The story of Michael Lower is very inspirational. Combine that with the remarkable storytelling skills of Michael Lewis, and you have got an amazing book for yourself. Number 5. Friday Night Lights by H.G. Bissinger. From the Pulitzer Prize to the National Headliner Award, H.G. Bissinger has received many prizes and awards for his books. The man also spent years working as an editor for Vanity Fair magazine, but his best contribution to the literature is the book we are recommending to you in this video. The entire story of Friday Night Lights revolves around a Texan high school football team from 1988, called the Permian High School Panthers. The author spent a great amount of time with the football team, watching them play, train, and practice. He started his book by explaining his reasons for picking that specific town and its football team. Then the author goes into detail about each player of the team. From the lives of the players on the football field to their lives outside the premises of the field, Bissinger has discussed many things in this book. From the high unemployment rate to racial discrimination, there are many things the players of Permian Panthers are facing on and off the football field. The end of the book also discusses how in 1989, the team of Permian Panthers managed to win the state championship. Number 4. Levels of the Game by John McPhee. Graduate of Princeton and Cambridge University, John McPhee has written for many prestigious magazines and newspapers in his life. Side by side with his career of working for magazines, he also wrote many books of his own. His famous book Levels of the Game recounts the story of a tennis match in 1968 played between Arthur Ashe and Clark Gradner. This was no ordinary tennis match, but the semifinal match. The author has described the entire game point by point. From the beginning, when the ball was raised into the air till the end when the winning shot was hit. The meticulous description of the game combined with the evaluation of how both players were playing as well as the discussion of their backgrounds makes it an interesting book for tennis fans. Number 3. The Sports Gene by David Epstein. Despite the fact that this American journalist has only written 2 books in his life, his writing has brought him lots of fame. From his creative way of writing to his extensive research behind both books, thanks to his journalism degree, both of his books were best-selling. The Sports Gene discusses the 2 narratives of being good at sports, nature and nurture. The former states that a player is good at a certain sport due to his genetics, and the latter proposes that it all comes from vigorous and brutal practice. In this book, David has discussed how genes affect a person's way of playing and which other factors along with genes are important in order to be good at sports. He has also discussed different games and the performance of players in the game, and the reasons behind their performances. Moreover, the book also focuses on the question of whether race and gender play a major factor in determining a player's ability to play well. Basically, in his unique way of writing, it has narrowed down all the factors that make a star athlete what he is. Number 2. Fever Pitch by Nick Hornby. The name of this British writer is behind a large collection of books including fictional novels and many non-fiction books. Many people recognize his books from their TV adaptations, but trust me, the text is just as good as what appears on the screen, if not more. Thanks to its movie adaptation and the presence of Jimmy Fallon, Fever Pitch is quite famous, but the book is even better than the movie. This book is basically an autobiography of Nick Hornby that discusses his love and obsession with football. From watching the local town teams play on the field growing up, to watching the big games of Arsenal, Nick has discussed his entire journey with football in this book. If you are a football fanatic, then the obsession that Nick has shared in this book will resonate with you. Number 1. Moneyball by Michael Lewis. This 62-year-old American author has also worked as a financial journalist, but he has always enjoyed writing more than anything else, and that can be seen by the number of books he has given us. From finance to sports, he has written books in various genres. At the top of my list of best sports books is Moneyball. It is a great piece of writing which has stolen the hearts of sports fanatics across the globe. This book is about Billy Beane and his journey with a baseball team the Oakland Athletics. This team had a lower budget compared to all of the other baseball teams in the early 2000s. However, when Billy Beane made it as the general manager of the team, he decided to change the tactics of picking new players and drafting teams. The strategies that he used helped him put together a team that had all the affordable players fitting the small budget of Oakland Athletics. However, along with being affordable, the team he put together was more promising than any other team of the time, and that was proven by their winning streak of 20 games in 2002. If you are new to the genre of sports, then you should definitely pick one book from the list that I just shared with you. Not only does it include all the best-selling books of the genre, but they are also written by some of the best authors who know how to keep the reader hooked, so you will not be disappointed. If the video helped you find the next book you are going to read, then like and share this video. Let me know in comment section on what type of books I should cover in my next video. Also, if you read one of the book mentioned in this video, share your review or thoughts with us. Subscribe this channel for more such awesome videos. Thanks for watching.